welcome to Nighttime, where I basically talk about anything that's on my mind currently, whether or not it's scripted or unscripted. And if you could tell, I'm being unscripted right now, yay! For today's topic, I actually wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and because it also just opened up this past weekend, is Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando and Hollywood. But this is going to be more focused on the Orlando part because I'm currently not in Hollywood right now. So, why don't we get started? This video is mostly going to focus on the houses I'm actually very excited about, mainly because there's only 4 this year. Last year, I kind of was more excited for Ash vs. Evil Dead and The Shining and The Terror Trim. They were the ones I was able to go to from Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, which I was super happy with. This year, I think besides like one in Hollywood I really wanted to see was just the Universal Monsters one. I literally saw footage from my friend Charlie on his video channel, which link in the description for that, because dear God, why can't Orlando have that? That looks super cool. Oh, I'm only going to be doing 4 houses. Originally it was going to be just 3. But it kind of shifted 4 because apparently 1 is super good. And from the footage I've seen, it looks super good. And if you're kind of wondering, wait, Night, how did you watch footage of the haunted houses? Like, they're not allowed to film in Orlando, unlike Hollywood. Well, they had a media event on the very first night. That's how. And they filmed the houses, which is going to give people who have anxiety or don't know where the jump scares are a nice reassurance where they're going to be, which is very helpful because I'm going to be going with one of my best friends for her first time at Halloween Horror Nights ever, and she has those type of problems, anxiety, jump scares. And one thing she may know while she watched the videos, she watched all of them. There were a couple we agreed that were boring. Literally, they weren't terrifying. I liked the makeup, but that was it. They weren't terrifying. That's how I really didn't care. She said they were scary but durable, or I think mainly she could be able to tolerate them. She did say the Stranger Things one could be a little intense because she mentioned, oh, I hope it's not going to be all Demogorgons. It still has Demogorgons and a couple random people affected by Eleven's power. But it looks super cool nonetheless. Speaking with the houses, which 4 am I going to see? I will say with the scare zones afterwards because they're their own separate entity. But for haunted houses, we're going to start with 2 of the originals and then 2 of the franchises. So let's get started. The first of the original properties is Slaughterhouse Cinema. This is one I'm super excited about since it got announced because it's like a tribute to old-fashioned 80s horror films, that the most ridiculous ones out there. I mean, Killer Clowns, Final Space, and The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. They're like the most ridiculous names. And even in today's society, we have Wolf Cop, Zombieverse. Just, dear God, people can go up with ridiculous titles for names and just make them. And they could be ridiculous, fun, or super good, or terrible. This is one I'm just more excited about. Like, I've seen the footage of it, and I'm just like, I want movies made for each one. These look super ridiculous but fun at the same time, and I just cannot wait. I really cannot wait for this one. Next up is another original property that kind of blew me away. Apparently it's been doing good, and it's a sequel. Apparently a sequel to one of the original houses or scare zones, Scary Tales, taken up by the Wicked Witch of the West. And I'm just like, people thought it was a Wizard of Oz one. I thought that was rumored, but knowing, no, the Wicked Witch has taken over and has turned all of these fairy tales darker than they actually are, which is weird because the actual fairy tales are twisted in their own way. But for the footage I've seen, it looks like it's a lot of fun and also very creepy. I love that type of scary tale style of twisted versions. I love twisted versions of fairy tales for some reason. They look fascinating and wonderful. I think also because the first time I saw a twisted fairy tale was, I can't remember the year for it, but I remember on the Travel Channel back when they actually played like hour-long travel videos of locations and theme park stuff. They had an hour-long dedicated to Halloween Horror Nights in Islands of Adventure for the very first time. They had I think, a Wonderland fairy tale style house. I can't remember. And that fascinates me so much as a kid. And knowing that's was a like inspiration and sequel into Scary Tales, it's amazing. And I really am excited for this one. I've not seen an actual icon this year, which is a big surprise for me because I think last year was Chance was the icon, or the year before. I'm actually having a hard time trying to remember icons now. Oh dear. No wait, the icon was a voodoo skull, but he was resin, but not really had a theme resonance. I do know that they're not actually doing icons for this year. This is the first time there's no icon. It's just a theme of the whole entire 80s. It's hard to really talk about the history of icons and the houses. Expedition Theme Park has been doing a great job talking about the icons for Halloween Horror Nights and the history of the event itself on his channel. I'm going to link in the description below because they are very helpful and it's a lot to keep up with. But for right now, for the houses, well, you already know, I'm going to be doing Stranger Things. I'm going to say that right off the bat because, dear God, everyone's been wanting this since the show came out on Netflix like 2 years ago. 1 or 2 years ago. And it looks super cool, guys. I've seen the footage of it. And this is a house that's going to be amazing and wonderful. And just, I'm excited. This is one I'm super excited for. And this is one that my friend really wants to go into. And I've been showing her Stranger Things. And since the actual haunted house is taking place during the first season, which makes it so much easier. But this also means maybe next year they're going to have another Stranger Things house dedicated to season 2. This might continue like the Walking Dead haunted houses. Like they were every year all the way until like Hollywood decided to make a permanent haunted house. And sometimes permanent haunted houses could be a good thing or a bad thing. I've had that from experience being part of it years ago. But this would be very interesting. And hopefully it'll keep up as it goes along with the Stranger Things, especially because it's like the first ever Netflix exclusive show to have a haunted house. Really think about it. This is the first Netflix exclusive haunted house in a Universal property. That's a lot. This is a big milestone and people are so freaking excited. I am one of those people as well. So I'm hoping that it's going to be fun. The second one I'm excited for because I'm going to be watching the movie this week. Right before I go, I've seen the Fear Fan and Count Dracula's reviews of it like a couple years ago. And I know this movie without even seeing it. Trick or Treat, I am so hyped. Last year in Orlando, it was a scare zone. This year in Orlando, they now have a haunted house, along with Hollywood, where they do have their own little scare zone. I've seen footage of it, and I think the one in Orlando from last year was a little bit better. I'm sorry, friends from Hollywood. I really am. But this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like they've recreated parts of the movie from the scare zone into this house. And apparently they also have Werewolves from America and Werewolf in London is in the werewolf section that's in the movie. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Because it makes sense. Though I'm excited. This is the first time Trick or Treat's got a lot more surges in popularity again because when Krampus had their own house made by the same director, I'm like, okay, Krampus has a house. I've seen the footage of that. The haunted house, it's cool, and I love the movie itself. Maybe this will slowly have Trick or Treat come in the future, and it did. And maybe, hopefully, we'll get a sequel very soon. Don't know when in the future, but I'm just happy that this actually is gaining resurgence after like almost like a decade. It's like this came out like 2000. Oh my God, this came out in 2007, or I can't remember the year. Future me will put it here, but it's taken like almost a decade, and here we are. Just dear God almighty. Now for the scare zones, I'm actually excited for all of them. They all look fun, entertaining. Van 55, which is a sequel to Van 55, I'm super excited about. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh dear God, I saw that like last month. I freaking love it. It's super cheesy, and I love super cheesy stuff, horror films like that. And it looks super cool. The Chucky one was the one I'm more hesitant about because back at Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, I went on the tram tour. In the beginning of Chucky's segment of the tour, it just had a bunch of Chucky people dressed up as Chucky with chainsaws, and I'm just like, That's not scary. But the zone this year, having broken or deranged toys around the scare zone, it's actually a lot more better. I actually like that. They're not Chucky, which is good because I thought it would just be some people dressed up as Chucky with chainsaws, and it's not. There's like those like monkeys in a barrel like around with the actual sloop arms. There's a ballerina missing an arm. There's like, I saw a gem. I saw an actual gem from Gem and the Holograms walking around. I'm just like, wait, hey, no, wait, what? I was blown away. I'm just like, oh dear God, I gotta go into the scare zone. Twisted Traditions also looks so much fun, mainly because I think I just want to see the Stilt Walker. I've seen footage of the Stilt Walker, and oh my God, it's glorious. I want a plush of that. I really do. If someone could make a plush for me. I'm joking, but still, it would be so cool having that as a plush. The Harvest is one that's very simple. It's just people like, hey, monsters attacking you. Also, cool Stilt Walkers, which is fun by me. There are random chainsaw zones ones with escaped convicts. The other, they still have the Clown Gate and Simpsons section, which is fine by me. I think for any tips I could actually give, I don't know. It's my first time going to Orlando. I've only heard the biggest tip is if you want to get a few houses out of the way, go to the back of the park first. You get 2 to 3 done, and then you can come back and do any other houses. Mainly the houses that I want to do, Slaughterhouse Cinema and Trick or Treat, they're in the back of the park, so I can get those 2 down. And then Scary Tales and Stranger Things are up front, which are going to have very long wait times. Like, it's just going to be crazy, and I'm just going to be here. I'm okay with waiting in the line for Stranger Things just for anticipation. It's just going to be a long, long wait. Just make sure you have food with you because you're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm also going to be going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. During the week, I'm going for Halloween Horror Nights. But I think I might do that as like what I thought of it for another day. And I will do a follow-up video for this one, mainly because I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, the house is super cool. Why didn't you do all of them? Wait, which ones did you say are boring? And I'll say that in another video, and hopefully maybe I can probably have my friend with me on there as well. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I would have an ending segment, but I don't. I need to come up with one for this little short style video. I really don't know. If you want to help support the show, become a patron at patreon.com/nightmare-productions, where you get access to videos ahead of time, be a Patreon producer in the credits of this video or in the description below. You get to also request anything from me on my own main show. You can also buy some merch at tpublic.com/nightmare-prods, and there's also my Twitter, my Instagram in the description below that you can also check it out. For the people I mentioned in this video, my friend Charlie, also known as RBGProd, with Monster Vlogs with his wonderful wife Haley, also known as T-Bell. Links are in the description below for both their channels. Expedition Theme Park, which I've mentioned earlier in this video. Check him out. He is a very cool person. And dear God, if you haven't heard of it, go right below. There's been like a big search. It's a theme park essay videos lately, and I've been enjoying this one a lot. And basically, you know, I'm gonna be rambling right now because I can't think of a way to end this, so I'm gonna end it right now. Have a great day, and I'll see you on another video. Later.